I just started achievement hunting and the next game on my list is Gears of War 3. There are plenty of achievements in this game we could have done, but my research team said doing it outside can't be done.
Unless this video gets 1 million views.
And the seriously achievement is way too easy. This left us with an achievement that would test my patience in ways I never thought possible. That's just crazy. As you may know, this achievement requires you to beat the entire game on the hardest difficulty, Insane Mode. So as I got comfortable in my chair with a cup of coffee in my hand, I prepared myself for the insanity that would soon take place. The first of 5 acts takes place 2 years after sinking Jacinto from the previous game. Unfortunately, the emulsion sickness has spread to the world and taken over the Locust, changing them into mutants called Lambent. Marcus wakes up from a nightmare about his dad to the sound of his name being called over the intercom of the CNV Sovereign. Following orders, we make our way through the ship to grab Dom. After grabbing our best friend, we meet a new member of Delta Squad, Jace Stratton. Finally reaching Anya, she reveals that Chairman Richard Prescott is back after abandoning the COG soldiers and people of Sarah for 18 months. Can you believe this guy? But giving him a piece of our mind would have to wait, because as we moved to the deck, we were immediately thrown into combat with an ambush of Lambent enemies.
I mean, how hard can the game really be? Yeah. Not that hard.
After clearing the area, we raise the deck lift for Prescott's chopper as they landed. Once we see Prescott, we realize 3 things. 1, he's old now. 2, he gives us a disk drive with a new mission. And 3, dude, he's really old. After grabbing the disk drive, we must fight our way to the CIC in order to view the data on the disk. As we moved ahead, I expected the beginning of this game to be pretty easy like Gears 2 was, but a Lambent drone quickly proved me wrong.
Let's go, people! Sooner we kill these things.
Bro, what? He smacked me 1 time, brother. Give me a break. Well,
I was also unaware that these enemies will chase you down.
I am running,
Not
bro.
so fast!
Ooh, get away, bro. Dude, he just chased me. Bro, what? That guy just chased me down.
It was also at this point I realized that this game was going to be a lot harder than Gears of War 2, because not only do enemies seem stronger, they also explode. Once we hid behind some barriers and let the team do the work, we received a checkpoint as we made it to the CIC. Once we pop the disc in, we find out that Marcus's father is actually still alive. He reveals that the emulsion sickness wasn't just infecting the Locust in her hollow, but is actually infecting the entire world of Sarah. Thankfully, he has a way to fix the problem, but before Anya could figure out his location, the ship was attacked by more Lambent.
I'll figure out a way to decode the rest of that disc, Marcus. We'll find it.
We made our way outside as Prescott came over the intercom pleading for help in the captain's cabin. We also learned something new about this game in particular as we attack some oncoming enemies.
Come on, move it! We gotta
Spotting.
get down there!
Hold LT, direct your squads towards 1 fire.
Oh!
That could be useful. What about this guy?
Although this would be an extremely useful tactic in the game, I would completely forget about it as we made our way to the next few acts. We continued fighting our way across the deck of the ship, taking out Lambent drones and some drudges along the way from a very safe distance. Because if you didn't already know, Lambents explode when they die, and if you're too close, well, you explode with them. Speaking of explosions though, we put out some fires shortly after with a conveniently placed extinguisher. After living out my childhood dream for 7 seconds, we rescued Prescott in the nick of time as he gave us a new objective.
Phoenix, get down to the hangar. The helicopters are under attack. We need to get them airborne right away.
Are you wounded?
Yes, but
Then you stay here, and you don't move until we get back. Understood?
I'll try not to get myself killed, Sergeant.
Yeah, you do that. I'm not the conversational type, but when I get back, I want a nice long chat.
But that nice and probably awkward long chat would have to wait. We would need to make our way to the hangar in order to help the crew lift off in the choppers. Then we came across some polyps, which are basically exploding spiders. Fortunately for us, these aren't half as bad as the annoying wretches or the tickers from Gears of War 2. We made our way into the mess hall where we assumed that we would be completely destroyed, but surprising to all of us, we actually made a complete mess of the enemies inside. Get it? Mess hall? Whatever. After receiving the next checkpoint, we entered the hangar to clear it of the Lambent and activate the 2 chopper decks. We were hugging the outside rail, shooting the drudges and drones from a safe distance. We even saw some chickens roaming around, and we're finally coming to the first deck we would need to activate. And that's when things turned for the worst.
Oh my. Dang it, man.
We were taken down by a drone faster than I slam a cup of coffee on a Monday morning. We were then sent back to the last checkpoint and had to clear this area all over again. Once we made our way back to the first control deck, we made sure to take out the Lambent drone before walking inside and activating the first deck lift. On our way to the next control room, a tentacle appeared out of nowhere, destroying the chopper. Thankfully, this part was pretty simple as we shot the tentacle and the sea creature just ran away. Ha! What a coward, am I right? After defending ourselves against the sea beast, we activated the second deck and rode it to the top without too many issues. But once we got topside, we smelled something. It smelled like a barbecue. Wait a second, the ship's on fire! After we took down a couple Lambent, we needed to open the irrigation valves to 3 different areas. So I grabbed my firefighting hat once again and moved ahead as we put out the fires of 2 crop units. But as we arrived at the last one, it looked like a friendly crewmate had already had this one under control.
Damn it!
Oh my gosh. I think we may have to start another casualty list. After watching what had just happened, I was a little nervous to pick up the extinguisher, but then I remembered what Philippians 4:6 says and carried on. And that's when the world's deadliest sea creature appeared before our very eyes. Wait, sorry, the Leviathan.
Next to the fuel. Yeah, right? It's the Kraken.
That thing can't take a hit.
But as Sir Isaac Newton once said, what goes up must come down. And I'm not talking about the Leviathan. He destroyed the top side of the ship and we fell down below, proving after all, in fact, he was not a coward. Just when we come to our senses, we needed to find a way back up top, and then the coal train came over the comms channel with a scientific approach that should take the creature down. But before we could hear his plan, we had to fight against, well, I'm not really sure actually. You see, once we started moving, we got attacked by polyps on one side, locust drones on the other, and the massive sea creature in the middle. So being the kind man I am, I shared the love of bullets with everybody. After defending ourselves for a few moments, a bridge fell from above just in time. I guess you could say my steps are ordered by the Lord. After reaching the top side of the ship a second time, Cole was finally able to relay Baird's plan. All we had to do was get the beast under the bridge so they could give it a headache, whatever that means. So we opened up the maintenance bay and grabbed a new piece of equipment to work with, the Silverback. Loaded up with machine guns and rockets, it felt like I was playing Titanfall, but with a lot less movement because these things are slow. We stepped out onto the deck with our new gear, ready to lay down fire, and actually took the Leviathan's eyeball in the first pass.
Shoot it in the face!
In the face! In the face! Shoot him in the face! That's disgusting.
The next passing, we fought off the polyps as the health bar dwindled, and honestly, what was annoying about this fight wasn't even the Leviathan himself. It was actually the enemies that jump on the boat in between his attacks, destroying your health completely. Surprisingly, we were having a really good first run so far, but we were just waiting for one of the enemy drones to take us out, but it never happened. In an absolute shock to everybody in chat and myself, we beat the Leviathan on the very first try.
Did it work?
Did we get him?
Freaking go, baby! First try! Come on, baby! Yes, sir!
Beard dropping tickers! What the hell's he thinking? Run! Let's get clear! Jump!
Oh, headache. Got it. As we jumped off the ship just in time to save our lives, we jumped into a time machine and traveled 1 hour backwards to see how Cole and Baird got to the bridge in time. This part was pretty cool. Not only did we get to see Cole's hometown, but we also got to meet 2 new COG soldiers, Samantha Byrne and Clayton Carmine. And I'm telling you right now, if it's the last thing I do, this Carmine brother is not going anywhere. As soon as we got off the chopper, our objective was to find supplies around Cole's hometown. But I had no idea the random difficulties that were lying ahead of us. The first issue was realizing you're actually not safe behind any piece of cover. Exhibit A.
One thing I hate about this one
is dying randomly. What in the world, bro? Exhibit B.
Note to self, don't hide behind this. Or anything else, apparently. Oh my gosh, brother. What is even that?
If this wasn't bad enough, we also had a difficulty with the stream itself. But apparently this time they recruited Doctor Strange on their side because he put my stream into an endless time loop for my 5 loving viewers.
5 minutes later.
This Cole is having fun? Bro.
So thinking very quickly, we decided if we couldn't take stream to the future, we would take our stream to the past. Okay, wait, not that far.
Oh man.
We streamed at a pretty low quality, hoping things would look okay. And although things did look okay for the stream, for my dear friend Coltrane, however, it looked about like this.
No way, bro. There ain't
Yeah,
no...
we died a lot right here. After finally taking down the remaining enemies, we obviously had to take the slide for
Some
a
hands
ride.
up in the chat. Hands up in the chat. Are you guys ready? Whee!
After moving further ahead, we made it outside the grocery store where 2 stocks appeared. But for some reason, I felt really good about this run. I mean, we were literally hiding behind a car. What could go wrong? Well, apparently everything.
Bro, no way.
First, we died to this stupid drudge mutated arm thing, and the next attempt, we died to my arch nemesis when I wasn't paying attention.
No, what? Bro, what? The stupid wretches, bro. The wretches, man. Come on. I can't handle
But
it.
after about 15 minutes of pure agony, we finally got inside and saw Cole's old cardboard cutouts of his thrashball days. They were pretty cool, but reminiscing would have to wait because we had supplies to grab. As we looked around for supplies, 2 stocks appeared immediately. But believe it or not, we actually made it through this part pretty easily because, well, we found a spot in the left corner and played a game I like to call hide and shoot. Once we got the checkpoint, we finally had a moment to breathe and I only had 1 response.
Oh, it's big time. Let's see.
Whoa! And it was literally just a moment because we would be holding our breath multiple times to the next portion trying not to die. But just before we got there, we found a collectible piece and a boom shot, which really came in handy when we faced 2 drudges up ahead. Then we realized the Lancer was completely out of ammo, which I just realized you guys can't see because of my webcam. So I guess you're just gonna have to trust me. So we were forced to use the bolt lock pistol. I may be the only one, but is this actually a decent gun? After reaching the supply room, we used the silverback to carry the supplies outside, but as we all probably know, it couldn't be that simple. Or could it?
No, sir. No, sir. Stay alive. Stay alive. Oh my, what is this? Are you kidding? Bro, what? Dude, no way. Oh my gosh. Dude, there's no way. There's no way that just happened.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but this was actually infuriating. I would like to add, though, that the chopper in the sky with the machine gun barely helped us at all. Thankfully, after a few tries, it actually worked and the chopper was able to pick up the groceries as we stopped for a nice coffee break. Once we completed our objectives, Sam said we should call it a day, but being the Coltrane, we really wanted to see the old stadium. So as we moved ahead, we would come across a new Lambent enemy called a Gunter.
Not on me, right? You've got to be joking. What?
This is basically just a Lambent boomer, and let me just say, they're so much worse. They have a massive cleaver attached to their body which can extend like Mr. Fantastic's arm. And they also have the deadly ability to throw Lambent meatballs at you that explode. If this wasn't enough, the Gunker also self-detonates a massive explosion upon its death. All of these deadly abilities make this foe one to respect, but we didn't learn that respect until we died multiple times in my first attempt to beat this game off stream. But surprisingly, after keeping a lot of distance and using a lot of ammunition, we took down the first Gunker without too much issue. But then we were met by a second Gunker. Surprisingly though, our team took him down almost single-handedly as I was looking around for ammunition from our first Gunker encounter.
Let's go. Thanks, guys. Let's come out. Let's go. Big time. They did a good job. Well, I was pillaging around for ammo. They did my job.
Also, I gotta say, Carmine is actually a beast in this game, and I'm thankful to have him on the team. After finishing off most of the enemies, the team moved forward as we reached a gate into a stranded community that reminded us we should always wear a helmet.
Stinking Lambent.
Jeez Louise! What the f?
Hey, check fire! We're on your side!
Sorry.
After an apology, we meet the camp's leader, who welcomes the coal train back as the hero he is and leads us to some ammo we can use while moving ahead. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool to find out how big of a deal the coal train was. Anyways, after grabbing some ammunition, we were back on our way to the stadium. Although our first attempt was completely useless, the second attempt we had a plan. We decided to shoot at the first Lambent pods that appeared before us, and after we moved ahead, we took down the remaining enemies. But when you take your eyes off a gunker for a couple seconds, they make you pay for it.
The other guy.
There he is. Dude, I swear, I hate it, bro. I hate this, dude. This is freaking... But nevertheless, we persevered and tried again. We took down both Lambent stocks and began focusing our fire on the gunker, which was actually incredibly easy this time, because, well, he was focused on our team. You guys might be thinking it would have been a lot easier to take down these gunkers with a boom shot, and you're absolutely right. But I made a deal with Chad earlier and said we wouldn't use the boom shots to make it a little bit harder, and I regret it. Once we cleared our way to the stadium, we walked up to the front door and realized the gate was locked. Thankfully, we had our chainsaws, but before we could cut the gate open, two gunkers were on the broken bridge faster than you can say, bro, what? Bro, what? Yo. Although it felt impossible, we took down the first gunker with no issue. But the second gunker spawned in quickly to avenge his fallen brother. No. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Finally, 10 minutes later, we took the second gunker down after an extremely close call. And when I say we, I mean the team did and I watched.
Let me recover. No way.
Once we got inside the stadium, we made the worst mistake possible when completing a difficult achievement.
At least the worst is behind us now, guys.
Hey, look.
Unfortunately, the worst, in fact, was not behind us. It was actually in front of us. Once we walked inside, we were welcomed with open arms by our beloved fans. But before they could take us to the boss, the stadium was attacked. And we were left with a massive decision. Left or right? After looking back at some of my other Gears videos, we nearly always go left for some reason. So we chose to go right. But we found out very quickly why people can sometimes get stuck in their own ways, because this was a terrible decision. Oh, this is a mistake. What in the world? Unfortunately for us, you actually can't go back and change your decision here. So we were stuck with this horrible decision for a very long time. We tried standing as far away as possible, but we found out that the Lambent enlisted the guy from Taken.
Bro, activated his shield with all the bullets. Yeah, bro, exactly. But, okay, it doesn't matter where I stand, he just finds me. This guy's the Liam Neeson, but Gears of War.
That is until Carmine finally had enough and absolutely went to town on everyone around him. But after the dust had settled, we were looking around for some ammo and another gunker appeared. Thankfully, for some reason, this one was a lot easier to deal with than any of the others. After taking him down, we moved ahead to find the leader of the Hanover Stadium. And that's when we saw it. Cole's old locker room. We stepped into the past as he puts on his gear to relive the glory days in a very unique way.
Let's do this thing. Get the bomb, boys.
We grabbed the ball and see a field full of Lambent enemies. We ran full speed as we juked left and right, dodging their bullets like Neo from the Matrix. We finally passed the last offender as we made our way to the end zone. We spiked the thrash ball and stood there basking in victory. But wait, that wasn't a ball! That was a bomb!
Oh, shoot.
I also wanted to note here how ridiculous it is that Cole can survive a literal bomb blast, but we can't survive a couple bullets from the Lambent enemies. Nevertheless, we put our anger aside and moved ahead to meet the stadium's leader. Then we got word from Anya that the CNV Sovereign was under attack from the big Leviathan we took down earlier. Once we meet the leader of the stadium, we found out that she actually hates the cog, but she did provide a way for us to get to the bridge. This part was pretty simple, and we even took out a gunker with a conveniently placed propane tank, but nothing could prepare me for the next 45 minutes. If you guys didn't notice, this chapter is called Hanging by a Thread, but by the end of this 45-minute period, the only thing hanging by a thread would be my sanity.
Alright, let's go. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll, tuck and roll.
Pow, bro. I hate this part so much. I hate it so much. This gunker would be the absolute bane of my existence for the next 45 minutes. And if you think you can run away from this guy, we did too. After the gunker destroyed our box we were hiding behind, we ended up trying. But on our way, the gunker decided to throw a better pitch than Randy Johnson in 2001. Oh my God. What's that? You gotta be kidding me. If this wasn't enough, we later found out just how far his reach was with his Mr. Fantastic on.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, this guy is literally the best player in the game. He's the best in the game. And I gotta ask you guys, did you have a tough time with this part too, or do I just suck? This entire time on the bridge was one of the most miserable parts of the entire act, which made me pretty nervous about the rest of the game. Thankfully, after that 45-minute death cycle, we had an attempt going extremely well.
Just keep taking him out. Oh my gosh.
The last one. For now, anyway.
Thank you, Lord. Yes.
You know, I'm more worried about this some trigger happens.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh my gosh.
After a mental break, we focused on our new objective. We needed to get to the end of the bridge to help Delta Team, and thankfully, this was going to be a lot easier than the zip line. Moving further ahead, we came across some normal locusts that were actually living on the bridge, and then I remembered something. It's because we destroyed their home. Thankfully, this part didn't give us too many issues as we kept moving through the small camp they had set up along the bridge. We also got a lot of checkpoints on this part, which I was incredibly thankful for. Since there were no gunkers, we got to use the boom shot again, and even got to use our chainsaw for obvious Gears reasons. Then we made it through some tickers that totally didn't kill us the first time. Finally coming back up for air on top of the bridge, we start closing in on the ship's location to help Delta Team.
Oh, the grubs must have plenty of ordnance here. You find it, I'll make it go bang.
After what Baird said, I felt like a little kid on 4th of July. But first, we had to find some explosives. And that's when we came across a pack of tickers. Wait, that doesn't sound right. A gaggle? A flock? A troop. A troop of tickers fell upon us and gave Baird the bright idea to use them against our enemy. After dealing with the ticking time bombs, we moved further down the bridge and came across a mortar team that we thought we could make it past pretty quickly if we ran full speed.
Oh my. Can we make it if we just keep running? Let's try. Go, 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 go.
Cover the containers. Thanks. The next time, we took it a lot slower and threw a ton of grenades and cleaned up the leftovers in a timely fashion. All we had to do now was take out this gas barge with the mortars. After taking out the barge, we continued through the bridge that was consistently being dismantled by the Leviathan. We came to the end of the bridge rather quickly, and we had one more round of enemies to take out. But I was kind of done dealing with everyone today. So after shooting a couple boom shots, we decided to run past everyone. And it actually worked.
We can just run, can't we? Go, 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 go.
Leviathan in position. You ready?
Give us a minute!
Oh my gosh. Touch the box, touch the box.
We dropped a massive troop of tickers from the bridge right on top of the Leviathan's face. As we destroyed his face, he returned the favor by destroying the bridge, sending us into the river as we washed up into Act 2. Making it out of the water, we all walked away untouched by the explosion. Even Carmine. He might actually survive this time. After a pretty easy run with some locusts, we moved ahead to look for more survivors in the area. And that's when we came across Delta Team, who seemed to be laying out on the beach, but they weren't getting a tan, as Dash from The Incredibles would say. Thankfully, the team knew CPR and quickly brought Marcus and Dom back from the grave. Marcus gets word from Anya that she and Jace are okay, but unfortunately Chairman Prescott is not. So we got up to make our way to Anya and Jace. But that's when we were introduced to a new enemy from the Locusts. Savage boomers with diggers. These enemies shoot a grenade in the ground as it digs like a groundhog to your destination and explodes. Thankfully, we were moving around the diggers pretty smoothly. That is until Baird blocked me from dodging out of the way.
Oh, there's so many of them, bro.
Oh, no! He literally killed us, bro. He literally got us killed. So we decided to try and throw some grenades at the savage boomers, which actually worked a lot better. After this, we slowly moved ahead until we were lit on fire by an incendiary grenade that it looked a lot like it came from one of my teammates. What was that? Where did that even come from? Did anybody see that? I have to know, did you guys see that too? I'm pretty sure Cole is out to get me. After clearing out the savage boomers, we came across some catapults we would need to clear out as well, but it really wasn't that bad. We took down the remaining catapults and even took down a Brumak before reaching Anya's location. Once we regroup with Anya, we find out that Prescott isn't going to make it, but just before he passes, he reveals that Marcus's father is being held prisoner by Queen Mira at a research facility called Azura. Then Prescott hands us an encryption key, and with his last breath, he reveals that someone would be furious about that, but only Baird knew who.
Hoffman. The is Hoffman.
Spit it out.
Look, Hoffman's been hanging on to that data disk he stole from Prescott back on this. All those months I spent trying to crack the encryption for him, we still didn't have a friggin' clue what was on it. Well, I bet it's the data on Azura, and that unlocks it. We have to get it to Hoffman and crack that disk.
With Hoffman being at Anvil Gate, the team was sent on a new adventure to give him the encryption key and find out the location of Azura. And what better way to start it off than a boss fight? After getting this checkpoint, we came face to face with another Brumak that I've named Bob. And I'm gonna be completely honest right here, I had no idea what I was doing. The game gave us some great advice and told us to shoot the rockets the Brumak was carrying. But when we tried that, we got blown up by the rockets instead.
Something else, man. I wasn't even supposed to shoot at anything else, but
This began a 30-minute stretch of trying multiple different things to take down this Brumak. We tried hiding in this cove, which seemed to work until a locust came up and smacked me in the back. After this attempt, we found that shooting him in the face was beginning to help, but still just wasn't enough to take him down.
okay, bro. Okay. That's stupid.
So the next attempt, we did something most people would probably say isn't very smart. We ran at him. But the weirdest part was, this actually worked. By running directly past Bob and hiding for a few minutes, he was more focused on our teammates and we could lay down some heavy fire on the opposite side. After what felt like an eternity, we finally took Bob down, and I'm now naming this tactic the ice cream sandwich approach.
Okay, we've got a pistol left. He just turned back. Let's go, baby.
After taking down Bob and a Brumak barbecue, we're gathering around Baird to get more info on Marcus's father. We came to find out that Adam Phoenix was a prisoner at the Azura research facility, but the real reason he disappeared is because he was abducted by Chairman Prescott. Talk about a plot twist. But before we could get to Adam Phoenix, we would need to deliver the encryption key to Hoffman at Anvil Gate. Delta team starts their way to Anvil Gate through the Deadlands. Once the team arrives into the Sarin Deadlands, we come across a gas barge. We would need to take control so we can make our travel to Anvil Gate a lot shorter. And I was going to show the distance, but I found out there's actually no map for the world of Sarah. Anyways, we began our way into the next area and came upon a beast under the surface we weren't expecting.
What is that?
Keep moving!
It's tremors!
Oh wait, sorry, it's a corpser. These corpsers really aren't that bad as long as you keep your distance. But after we cleared the area, another locust blew the war horn like a scene from Return of the King. Not only that, but then some Theron guards walked out with swords to really send that Lord of the Rings reference home. We took down all the enemies again with hardly any issue. As soon as we crossed the Locust Gate, we were fired upon by enemy mortars. We had to make a run for it, and it really wasn't that bad until I got cornered by a ticker sent to humble me. I couldn't move. Come on, man. Come on, man. But when you keep trying, good things eventually happen. So we kept trying, and wouldn't you know it, we made it to the next area. This part became a lot easier once we realized that we could use the catapult to take out literally everyone in sight. So things were moving along rather nicely here as we came to a checkpoint with a whole lot of ammo to pick up. And if you don't know, this means two things. The game is being nice to us, or there's something catastrophic up ahead. What's actually crazy here is that both of these statements are true. But what I was unprepared for is who would be the source of this catastrophe.
Can I destroy this alarm that they have here?
Contact.
Did I just sound the alarm myself? Why did I do that?
Dude, if it wasn't obvious already, I'm not much for sneaking around. Surprisingly enough, we didn't even die until we made it to this final gate. This led us to the Locust stronghold that felt almost impossible to break. With 2 turrets and some of the weirdest angles, we found out pretty quickly that this part was going to be difficult. We felt safe behind some cover, spraying and praying until a Locust came out of nowhere and pulled a move out from the WWE.
Terrible, guys.
Oh my god.
What did he do? Drop kick me, bro? What is even that? Actually mad about that one.
After this, we stumbled upon a discovery I completely forgot about since the beginning of the game. You can mark people. After marking the enemies around me, I left the team to do the work and we finally cleared out the area, receiving a checkpoint for all that hard work. As we moved ahead into the Locust stronghold, we came to some trenches that we had to run through while being fired upon by the gas barge, which really isn't that bad if you just wait for your team to go. But after making it through the trenches, we saw that gas barge from earlier landing in the distance. After clearing the top side of the trenches we had just ran through, we were led into another section of tunnels that led us to a ticker manufacturing plant. Thankfully though, when we made it inside, they were all in cages, so we couldn't possibly get hurt.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think he could blow up still. Dang it, man. I didn't think about that. So
After this, we were caught by the Locusts and would have to fight our way through the tunnels, which happened to be an assembly line of explosive tickers. We used the tickers to our advantage and released them from the chains and onto the Locusts. But just when I thought I was helping the tickers out, they decided to betray me.
How did that kill me, bro? How did that kill me? Explain that to me, bro.
The worst part was getting reset all the way back to the beginning of this checkpoint. We moved ahead finding a ladder, hoping it would be the end of the trenches. But what would actually happen would be much, much worse. We climbed up into a giant corpser den. There were hundreds of corpser eggs that were beginning to hatch everywhere. We took them down as quick as we could, and just as we were about to make our escape, the mama corpser showed up.
Must be feeding time. Here's Mom.
Oh my word. She is ugly and angry, bro.
This would be the beginning of a very challenging boss fight, but after taking one of her eyes, she sent the medium-sized corpsers after us. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention until it was too late. I'd love to say the second attempt went a lot better, but that would be a lie.
Save the boom shot for sure. What was even that, man? What just killed me, bro? I don't understand. I freaking hate it.
Finally, the third attempt was a lot better as we survived long enough to get a checkpoint after removing an eye from Kelly the Corpser. And I have to say, if there wasn't checkpoints right here, we would have been stuck here for hours. After making it past the next checkpoint, we learned from the previous 10 seconds and dodged the ceiling tile as we took another eyeball for our collection. We removed the last eye from Kelly and she was not happy about it.
Oh my word.
Oh shit! Now she's pissed.
Oh my gosh.
The place apart.
You gotta survive for 30 seconds, bro?
She was thrown into a frenzy wreaking havoc on everything she came into contact with, including me. What I also didn't realize here was that the timer at the top of the screen is how long you have to get out and not how long you have to survive for. So I really thought we were doing well when we were surviving the longest time, but chat was freaking out because we weren't running to the exit at all. But like I said earlier, the steps are ordered by the Lord, and I'm always in the right place at the right time. As the timer ran out, we just so happened to be directly next to the exit and made our escape in the nick of time.
Let's go. Yes! Ah! Yes, baby!
Still around.
Said run.
After getting outside, we ran into the guy that was running the show. Well, lady, I guess. Queen Mira is alive and riding on a very big bug. Somehow she made it out of the inner hollow, and knowing how dangerous of a team we are, she calls in the troops to destroy us all. We also were introduced to another new enemy at this point that would be very annoying moving ahead. I actually don't even know what these bugs are, but they have machine guns, dodge your bullets, and charge at you with explosives.
Oh, they're coming after us. I am done. He just kamikazed me, bro. What is that?
He died and then killed me, bro. Although these guys were definitely annoying, things started to get easier when you don't try to run and gun at every enemy you see. This is really difficult for a guy who's played Call of Duty his entire life. But after picking up the torque bow and moving a lot slower, we finally reached the barge location and received a checkpoint. You might think mentioning this checkpoint isn't a really big deal, but when you see what happens next, you'll understand. After pulling this lever, we were about to unleash the most insane sequence of events the world has ever seen. Okay, that may have been a stretch. As we took the elevator to the barge's location, we had a torque bow in hand and were locked and ready to rock. But the only thing that got rocked here was my body to the ground by an enemy mortar. Another mistake we made here was thinking we could hide behind a box. Well, obviously, but like, it still wasn't. And they started... You've got to be joking, bro. We even thought at one point we were supposed to just shoot the people on the gas barge, which ended just about as quickly as it started. We came to find out that you have to survive multiple waves of enemies while Baird connects the navigation system to the barge. Fighting against Theron guards with torque bows and boom shots made it pretty difficult, and when you got pretty close to beating the level, stuff like this would happen.
Dude, what the heck, bro? Oh my gosh, what?
Although this portion did take us nearly 30 minutes, I still don't think it was as bad as the gunkers on the bridge. Once Baird finally got control of the nav system, the barge landed, we took out the last few enemies very cautiously and paused the game as we celebrated the team's success.
Yeah, baby! Yes, sir! Woo!
Once we finally hit the air, Baird made sure we buckle our seatbelts as we fly our way to Anvil Gate, but our relaxing flight is cut short when none other than Dizzy Wallen comes over the comms channel.
Dizzy.
That you, Dizzy?
Marcus Riggs! I'll be there. Where are you, son?
That's so funny.
We're on our way, Dizzy. See the extra barge coming in? That's us.
We take out the other barges and drop in to rescue Dizzy from the oncoming locust. This part really wasn't that bad, besides the couple deaths I had due to my own stupidity. After revealing that Hoffman is still at Anvil Gate with the data disk we're looking for, we load up with some ammo in Dizzy's garage and we grab the one-shot sniper and began disassembling every Reaver in sight with one shot. Nevertheless, we took out the enemies, blew up some fireworks, and our short layover at the outpost was finally over. As we boarded the barge, we thought it would be a nice calm ride to Anvil Gate, but as per usual, we were mistaken. As we were flying over Anvil Gate, we were attacked by Queen Mira and her buzzing, flying thing. The Queen Beetle took down our barge, but we performed a nice maneuver and crashed to our safety just outside Anvil Gate. As Hoffman and a group of COG soldiers discover our craft, they get us some vehicles as we head to safety for the time being. On the way back to base, Marcus tells Hoffman about the encryption key he needs for the data disk. Marcus also fills him in that his dad, Adam Phoenix, is still alive because of the planned kidnapping by Prescott himself. Once we arrive at the base, we enter into Act 3 as it's being attacked by the locusts. Thankfully, we had the high ground.
Bro, what killed?
Yeah, it was awful. On our second attempt, though, we remembered that we could mark people again, so we used that to our advantage as we took down the grinders. It was also at this point I realized that we weren't actually winning this battle. The Locust had breached the front gate and made it to the second gate, but thankfully we found this sweet Vulcan turret to use and completely destroy them.
You know, the big dangerous one.
I have no idea what's happening, bro. I could have shot those, couldn't I?
Okay, this thing sucks. We actually started making some progress when we pulled out the sniper and then used our trusty Lancer until we ran out of ammo. The Locust began overtaking the bridge, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt impossible to keep them at bay. Did you guys feel this way too? The Locust then busted through the second gate and made their way inside. And apparently we only had one more line of defense that chat said you do not want to get to. So we were committed to making sure the Locust didn't get past this area, but what we weren't paying attention to was the other side.
Whatever it takes, boys. No, don't shoot me. No. Oh my gosh, I drove away, bro. Come on, man.
After being turned into a pile of Swiss cheese, we put ourselves back together and began laying down fire from the perfect spot. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. The Locust began climbing through the last line of defense like a Call of Duty zombie climbs through a window. We slowly began to realize, though, we weren't going to hold this forever. In a last-ditch effort, Hoffman orders us to blow up the fuel tank that would destroy them all. But there was just one problem. I couldn't find it.
Where's it at? What do I do?
Concentrate
fuel tank.
What fuel tank? I don't see a fuel tank anywhere. Oh, that fuel tank. Nice. We did it, even though we lost everything. I don't know, do you count that as a win or a loss? Because
After getting a moment to catch our breath, we meet with Hoffman to discuss everything going on. Marcus reveals that his dad has a way to destroy the Lambent for good, and just as Baird is trying to locate Azura, a lady named Bernie busts in the door, with some really sweet dreads, I have to say. She relays that Sam and Anya are pinned down outside. This led us to another big decision. Go outside and save them, or sit on the wall for cover. Now at this time, I had just read about this guy named Benaya and a lion he killed by himself, so the decision was pretty obvious. We hopped in a vehicle and blasted outside to save the woman we loved. We were closing in on their location, ready to pick them up and get safely back inside, when...
what was I supposed to do?
As we collect ourselves from the crash site, we see a locust literally rip off a guy's arm. Then, before we know it, there are Lambent stalks appearing everywhere. Slowly making our way ahead, Baird almost has the Hammer of Dawn operational when the most terrifying creature appears from a stalk.
Go, 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 go!
What is that?
Brother, what is that? A Lambent Berserker? You've gotta be joking! I'm freaking out of there, bro!
Our rescue mission quickly turned into a survive-at-all-cost mission. If you don't know, a Lambent Berserker is just like a normal one, but much more deadly. Bear did get the Hammer of Dawn operational, which we could use, but he had zero control over it. Thankfully, the next attempt went a lot better. We juked the Berserker left and right and ran as fast as we could to the gate, and somehow we made it inside without dying. Once we made it inside the base, we watched as the Hammer of Dawn destroyed the Lambent beast from above. But I need to tell you guys something. It's been a while since I've played this game, and if you've played this game, you know what's about to happen. But I didn't know.
Looks that way.
It's
All
still
right,
alive.
everybody get inside. We've got unfinished business to...
What the hell?
Stop it. It's still alive! Come on, bro!
I thought the Berserker was dead and we were absolutely safe, but as you and my past self will see, it in fact was not dead. And honestly, I feel like she needs a name now, so she's gonna be Beatrice the Berserker. I don't know why I named the enemies, it just makes it easier. We began shooting in her heart that glowed with pure love for the Cog army. Once we made it to the first checkpoint, we noticed she was leaking Lambent juice everywhere. The worst part about Beatrice is that she was incredibly unpredictable. Figuring out a system to stay alive was really challenging.
Oh gosh, I don't... oh no, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I couldn't get out. I didn't know there was a corner right there.
We also found out that Beatrice likes to jump.
Ooh, I dodged it, bro. You said 2 phases left? I don't know how I'm gonna get past this one.
As we continued our attack, she became weaker, but a lot more volatile. We started using a pistol because we really didn't have a lot of ammo until we saw a blue shimmering substance in the distance. We loaded up one more clip and sent a barrage of gunfire straight at Beatrice until she'd finally had enough.
Let's go, baby. Yeah. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie, I would be completely content never seeing one of those things again. After getting the team back inside, Baird found the information regarding Azura's location, and also the reason why it was so hard to find. Prescott's team created a Maelstrom device which was capable of hiding an entire island by a self-generated hurricane. This is pretty wild stuff. Baird informs us the only way to get inside is to go underneath the storm itself by submarine. Hoffman reveals that the city of Endeavor has some semi-operational subs to use. Dizzy even offers to tag along to help fix them for us. And just like that, the team's back together again. But our first stop would be to get fuel in the City of Mercy, which is the hometown of Dom's recently deceased wife, Maria. And I only let you know this to be prepared for arguably the second saddest moment in game history. The next day, the team heads to Mercy to get fuel as Baird and Cole head out to get reinforcements. The initial stretch of the highway actually wasn't that bad as we blew through some reavers and destroyed some pipelines along the way. We made it through every area pretty easily and even took down a Brumak before arriving to Mercy City. Just as we arrived into Mercy, we noticed something.
Dizzy, I thought you said this town was occupied.
Yeah. It was busier than a fiddler's elbow a few months ago.
But we still had a job to do and a world to save. We needed to turn on the main fuel pump so we continued through the town. And that's when we got shot at by someone we didn't expect and learned a little bit more about this abandoned city.
Did you rig the pipeline? You want to blow this place up?
Yeah! I gotta stop this thing from spreading!
Holy
With the motion sickness going around, the team was ready to find the gas pumping and get out fast. But we wanted to help this old man if we could, and though we did find him moments later, he wasn't with us anymore.
God, it's a crazy
Oh
old man.
no.
But what killed him?
Old man. What would come next is a creature that no one could have ever expected. A Call of Duty zombie. Okay, I'm kidding, but I'm not gonna lie. These things freaked me out and I reacted the only way I knew how.
Yo, what? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, run!
Come on.
Everybody run!
Spreading to humans, the Lambent disease had mutated this entire town into creatures called formers. I had a lot harder time with this first part than I'd like to admit, but once we got outside, we filled Dizzy in on the Lambent humans and started round 2 in this undead nightmare. Walking into the courtyard, we were getting closed in on every single side until we found this Vulcan machine gun. This one was a lot better than the one from earlier. Thankfully, we had a lot of space to work with, and round 2 of the Lambent city went a lot better than the sewers. As the team moved into the building ahead, we ran into a safe room with 2 city survivors. Thankfully, we had a moment to sit and talk with the survivor, hoping he could be a great help to the team at our mission.
Seen this before? Cause this ain't just rust.
Bro!
And just like that, round 3 was upon us. This part was a lot more challenging than the other 2. Whether we backed ourselves into a corner or died immediately as we tried to run away, the formers are really good at their job. And that's when we came across the Retro Lancer.
Dude, the Retro Lancer goes hard. Okay, I've been sleeping on the Retro Lancer for sure.
I personally hate the recoil on this weapon, but it's perfect for the formers. As we finally gained some progress, we walked into the next area where we see the pipeline is rerouted through the church. With the front door blocked, we were forced to move through the back. As Dom takes a moment to pay his respects, we tried to find our way inside. Once Dom rejoins the group, he gives Marcus his knife to help release the fuel pump lever. After we turned the fuel on, we had to make our way back to Dizzy very quickly. We found some tunnels to take back to the gas station, and then Dizzy comes over the comms channel to reveal 2 problems. The locusts are attacking and the tanker's leaking fuel, so we have to leave it. As we reach the gas station, there's locusts everywhere. Thankfully, the locusts really welcome me back with open arms.
Oh my gosh, that was first shot. Are you kidding right now?
Or bombs, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty annoyed by this one, but the next attempt, I was completely prepared and it would never happen again.
Okay, twice? Alright, we gotta figure something out, right?
Finally, the next attempt, we survived longer than 10 seconds because the locusts were only coming from one side. But after another 15 seconds, the formers began flanking us from behind and the Lambent stalks are popping up everywhere. I honestly had zero strategy here besides shooting any enemy that ran up to me. As we backed ourselves into a corner, this attempt was looking really rough. And then we were finally saved by the cutscene. But there was something else coming that would tear our hearts to pieces.
Dom, where are you going? Hug on to Marcus! Jump, will you? Do it!
No!
Dom! No!
No, Tom, why?
Your father still needs us.
Dom.
No, man. God, dude, that is gut-wrenching, bro. Dadgummit, man.
Dom.
Anybody else ready to cry?
As a brother to the very end, Dom sacrificed himself to save us all. We hopped in the trucks as quick as we could and took off to the city of Char, moving us into Act 4, Ashes to Ashes. After clearing the air, we started the objective to find some fuel nearby. Making our way through the city, we saw a lot of people that had passed due to the Hammer of Dawn strikes in the previous year that decimated the city. Continuing ahead, we see a guy covered in ash and he attempts to murder us multiple times. Thankfully, we were making it through these traps rather easily, but when it started to rain shopping carts, I thought the team was gone for sure. After reaching a massive building, we finally hear the man speak as his buddies released a brigade of fire upon us. We tried telling them who we are, but then 2 Lambent stalks appeared out of nowhere.
Yes, sir. What? Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that guy, bro.
The next attempt we tried to stay as safe as possible. As the ashes settled, the Ashman himself comes down from his tower, and let's just say Marcus was not happy.
Now, lady, you might want to do
Obviously, different styles
business
never
with
happened.
you.
Just take us to see him, little man. Now.
Ooh. You don't mess with this lady. That's the truth, boys.
On the way up the elevator, the Ashman tells us who Griffin is. Apparently, this guy is the chief of the city and ran the Emulsion Corporation back in the day, which means he has exactly what we need. Fuel. The Ashman leads us to Griffin, which also leads us to a few unexpected surprises. The first unexpected surprise you guys need to pay attention to is that my controller magically signed out. This would force us to do the entire act over again, but I didn't know this at the time. But that's not all. Griffin sends us on a mission to get some fuel, but he's keeping Dizzy held captive until we make it back. With the clock ticking on Dizzy's life, we move towards the Emulsion Refinery, but not even 10 steps outside, we face off the Lambent again, which actually went by pretty smoothly, but the second part was not the same.
Oh no.
Bro.
Brother, what? What is that, man? That's so stupid.
Shaken up by our last few attempts, we committed to survive at all costs, even at the price of our teammates. Thankfully, this tactic worked, and we began moving ahead to the old subway station as we saw some much-needed ammo to pick up. But I was unaware the game would troll us.
Nice, I could use this. You gotta be kidding. Give me the— no. Why would the game play with you like that, bro?
With hardly any ammo remaining, we came to the front door of the refinery, but as you might expect, we started to walk inside, multiple stalks appeared. Here would be a nice 10-minute stretch of attempts to get inside to the cable cars. Most of the attempts were cut short due to the wretches that snuck up behind me. The battlefield was littered with enemies as we were running out of ammo, but with a combination of hiding and running, we grabbed a hammer burst and let the bullets fly into the final enemy. This part was actually incredibly difficult for me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I'm gonna blame it on my teammates. After we turned on the power, Anya gave us the bright idea of calling one of the elevators, but another surprise awaited us inside. Formers. This part actually wasn't that bad because we hid inside the elevator the entire time. Once we got topside, all we had to do was get the cable cars running and ride them back to Griffin, which actually went by pretty smoothly thanks to our trusty Retro Lancer. We made it back to the cable car when Dizzy comes over the comms and reveals that they're being attacked by Queen Mira again. With no other option, we rode the cable cars back to Dizzy to find that the tower has been overrun, and they're attacking innocent people, which I will not stand for. Forced to defend the tower, we slowly made our way ahead, and we saved Griffin and Dizzy just in time, and after a really heated argument between Griffin and Marcus, we get the gas back on the vehicles and make our way to the shipyard. But off in the distance is Queen Mira talking to the armored Kantuses. Can't I? Whatever, you get it.
If he lives, our entire species dies. Make sure that his touching little mission ends here.
Yes. Yes.
With confidence flowing through our veins, we were taking out enemies with ease all the way up until we got to the hangar doors, where my first attempt exploded. Literally.
I wish I would have saved those grenades. Dang it. I feel like that's a common thing I've been saying is... What did he hit me with? How did he even hit me with that, bro?
Unfortunately, our first attempt was the best because the next 15 minutes we would continue to make it to the hangar door just to die in some ridiculous fashion. One of my personal favorites was when I tried to throw a grenade over the containers but peeked out for 1 second too long.
Sorry, bro. Idiot, bro. That comment. I'm so freaking mad. I keep making it that far and doing stupid stuff.
I told Chad I needed to stop doing stupid stuff, but then the following attempt I chose to do something stupid. Again, after picking my brain back up, we actually made it all the way through by throwing grenades and hiding behind the moving train car. As we made our way into the hangar looking for a sub, we stumbled across a new enemy. Centipedes, which are kinda like centipedes, but massive and can electrocute you. Now, I hate real centipedes, so we really had to conquer some fears on this one. We figured out that shooting it in the rear end was the best move, but it was a little too late.
Stop it. I'm not doing this right now. Oh my gosh, I couldn't get away.
Thankfully, after finding this out, we were able to get to the last hangar pretty quickly thanks to our team's sacrifice. Once inside, we found out that this sub would be perfect to sneak into Azura with, but unfortunately, the rotor is cracked and the sub needs more fuel, so we were on our way to get the fuel first.
Look sharp. We've got more grubs.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even get a chance, bro. What is that?
And I found the best way to survive was to take out the enemies on the bridge first and then let the team take everybody else out. However, the next part was really challenging. The hardest part was trying to find a way to get on the boat without being taken out in the process. After hiding for a little bit, we found a rail cart that we could hide behind for safety.
Right now. Oh, yep, I am. Supposed to walk with the cart, aren't I?
Okay, maybe not. Then we found out we could use a silverback here. This was incredibly helpful, but you're still not invincible.
Well, then set me!
Oh my gosh, no way, dude.
Even with the silverback, it took us about 20 minutes to get through this entire portion. We flipped the switch and the fuel was on its way to Dizzy. The next wave of enemies wasn't near as bad as the first. We regrouped with Dizzy, he fueled up the sub, and we were on our way to go get the rotor. But as soon as we head that way, we were attacked by wretches and tickers all at once, but they really weren't the problem. When we got outside, we found some old artillery shells we could use to take out the locust turrets, but apparently they're a little unstable.
Those old gonna be pretty unstable.
Wake-up call.
That's good to know. Good to know they're super unstable. Thanks, guys.
The next time, we stood much further away and used the torque bow to take out the turrets instead. The next few parts of this objective were absolutely miserable. Whether it was a mulcher that completely destroyed us, or even the flying bugs that pushed us into a corner. It was absolutely grueling here. Some deaths even happened in a way I never thought possible.
What happened? We just got on top box somehow, bro. What even is that?
After playing slowly and strategically though, we finally made it past this part and inside the hangar to receive a checkpoint. This part was a little bit easier but still made us rage because of my Call of Duty brain getting the best of me. After clearing the area, we grabbed the rotor and took it back to Dizzy to fix the sub. But we still had one last objective to accomplish before making our way to Azura: protect the submarine. The first part really wasn't that hard as we moved through 3 main areas and protecting the sub along the way. But when we finally made it to the last hangar door, this would lead us to the greatest test of this act: the armored Kantai. We were walking into this part with a lot of confidence, honestly, but what we were unaware of is just how long it would take us. And spoiler alert, it was about an hour. Here we would be facing off against the armored Kantus, multiple waves of locusts, and the Centipedes are back. And honestly, I don't know which is worse, the armored Kantus or the Centipedes, but the Centipedes were definitely the most stressful.
Oh my god! No! Freaking... Oh, dude! Come on! Oh my gosh, that was stupid, bro.
Shooting the Kantus in the face when they scream is the only way to take them down. After a lot of attempts, we finally found something that would work using the boomshot headshot combo, which is basically trying to hit him in the head with a boomshot. While this worked for the Kantus, the Centipedes were another story completely.
Guys, please help me out for once. Oh my gosh, no, 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 no. Dude, that daggum centipede, bro. The freaking centipede, man.
For some reason, the team decided to let them crawl right past them and electrocute me to death. So the next time, we took out the Kantai and we sat back and waited for the team to finish the job, and finally they didn't disappoint.
Come on, guys! I believe in you.
Oh, God.
Okay, flood the dock, and then everybody to the boat.
Finally! Oh my gosh, finally, bro! I want to thank everybody on the team. Thanks, guys.
After finishing this, we were finally on our way to Azura, but this wouldn't be an ordinary boat ride. It started out smooth, but then we got bombarded by kamikaze dolphin things. After going dark, we were safe for a few moments, then a Leviathan appeared, and then began the wildest chase of the game. This part actually had us stuck for a few minutes because the characters were giving us two different orders. We did it! I thought we did. Did we just die? You've got to be kidding, bro. We turned the easiest part in the game to something a lot harder, and I really hope I wasn't the only one who had trouble with this. Once we finished off the Leviathan, it was a breeze to get to Azura. We took down some turrets and arrived at the final act of the game. As we hopped off the sub, we moved ahead to the research facility. We cleared out most of the enemies rather quickly here, despite a few deaths in the meantime. Upon getting to the train, we blew it up, and then an unexpected voice comes over the intercom.
No, I mean emulsion, the lambent organism. It's about to reach a critical stage in its life cycle. I've got to destroy it before it matures and wipes out all life on Sarah.
Adam Phoenix explains the Lambent disease will destroy the world if we don't hurry, so he opens a door to get us through the maintenance tunnels, but with the base heavily fortified with locusts, we were gonna need some heavy firepower, and boy did we find it. As we took out the first wave of enemies and continued moving through the tunnels, we finally got outside, and I was really thankful we had the silverback, cause we felt invincible. But then, we heard the worst 4-letter word in the game. Oh my gosh, dude. That's like the worst word you can hear, you know, like you just hear boom and you're dead. That's literally it. I hate that, dude. A few attempts later, we decided to ditch the silverback and it worked a lot better for us. We reached the underground train system, dodged a train, and we're closing in on the control room location when we came across 2 more boomers and a Kantus. Again, thankfully these guys weren't too difficult to take down with some timely sniper shots. We continued to work our way ahead and made it to the loading bay and would need to take an elevator to the top floor. But we didn't make it to the top, and we were ambushed by enemies on all sides. After taking out most of the enemies, we found a ladder that would lead us to the next floor, but once we got up top and outside the door, a Reaver dropped in.
Yes, grenades! Throw it! Throw it!
Bro, that's not fair, bro. That's not fair. With the information I gained from the Reaver, we tried to pre-nade his position, but what I wasn't expecting was the Reaver to send a perfectly timed missile to my face. After a few grenades and some boom shots later, we finally brought down the strongest Reaver known to man. Moving ahead, we came across the control room for the Maelstrom device. We would need to destroy 5 more coolant valves in the generator room. I couldn't believe it, but this may have been one of the easiest parts in the entire game. After shutting off the valves, the plan worked and the Maelstrom was destroyed as we got outside. It's finally sunny again, and Cole and Baird arrived by chopper with a lot of reinforcements. After regrouping with the squad, we forgot that Baird and Cole didn't know about Dom's death, so finally revealing to them left them angry and heartbroken all at once.
Dom didn't make it.
Dadgummit, man! Gah!
I don't know about you guys, but this may be more emotional than Maria's farewell in Gears 2. Nevertheless, Dom had got us this far, and with that in mind, Marcus had one last word before we moved ahead.
You know, that's great.
It's where it ends.
Yes, sir.
One way or another.
Grr! I am pumped up. This is where it is, gentlemen. Right here, right now. This stream, tonight. Ah!
It may be dramatic, but I was ready to drop some people like a sack of potatoes. So as things were going pretty smoothly, we closed in on the front doors to walk inside. Once we made it inside, we took down some catapults, created a flood, and made it through a lobby area that wasn't too bad. But as we came to the next area, I was completely unaware how hard it was going to be. All we really had to do here was clear the area of the Kantus, Locust, and Theron guards to defeat the last siege beast. So this part gave us a lot of issues. First, we couldn't get past the first few steps without being blown up by something. But on the occasion we did get past the staircase, we somehow got shot behind cover.
What's that called? The personal... Are you kidding? How, dude? What? I was behind the wall.
The next attempt, we actually cleared out the entire area, and then the most unspeakable thing happened.
That was close. We should probably pick up some ammo just in case, you know? The hammer burst? Oh, dang it. I want this, but... Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point, right? Take them down, boys! What? Are you serious right now?
As committed as we were, it took another 10 minutes before we had another chance to take down the catapult. But this time we were ready for all the tricks. We finally cleared the area and the Ravens were able to drop more cog reinforcements. But just as we got word from the Raven in the sky, the Lambent stalks appeared all over the ocean and burst through Azura. Forced back inside, we finally reached the area we've been searching for the whole time. But the entrance to the tower is heavily guarded by multiple Locust enemies. My main concern was the Bloodmount Rider with the torque bow, but I found out pretty quick that I should have been more worried about the mortars raining down from the sky.
This is the guy I want to take down. That's it.
Thank you very much. That's the only one I really needed to take down for sure. Oh!
I guess not. Dang it, bro. Dang it.
Dude. Thankfully, the next attempt, we made it to the front of the doors, but this part was even worse. As Jack starts to rip the door, the Lambent stalks appear, dropping a gunker in front of us.
Gunker? Dude. Come on, bro.
Unfortunately, this little circle was not going to do anything for us. So we tried something completely different and ran all the way to the end of the bridge in hopes to stay alive, which actually worked.
This is it, guys. Oh my gosh, we're about to take him down. Let's go. This is the best way. 100% the best way to take this guy down, dude.
So, pro tip, if you guys are trying to beat this part on insane mode, I would definitely use the bridge strategy. Once inside, we were closing in on Adam's location, but he reveals that the cure won't just destroy the emulsion, but will hurt the Locusts too, which we really didn't understand since, you know, they're the bad guys. Nevertheless, we pushed ahead. What we didn't know though, that the next part was gonna be a lot harder than the previous wave we faced outside.
No way! That's the first time that's happened to me this entire playthrough, bro.
Oh, multiple waves of enemies on different floors were taking shots and destroyed us for 15 minutes straight. We were then greeted by a Reaver bursting through the glass, and I was completely unprepared for him.
Oh gosh, no! That was so close, dude. Dude. I like how Anya standing straight up gets absolutely smoked with that rocket and doesn't even phase her.
Finally, after a monstrous 25 minutes, we took down the Reaver by hiding behind the staircase. As we moved ahead, we found some elevators we could take up to the top floor. Then the Queen and her flying beetle appeared to really start a fire.
Dude, I was right there. We got stuck, man. Got stuck trying to I was trying to run. I promise.
We forced our way to the top in the process as she reveals that Adam Phoenix had 20 years to deal with the Lambent disease. Nevertheless, we cut some cables to drop the beetle down below and convinced that the Queen was taken care of. We then had to fight our way down a hallway, which really wasn't too bad if you had some grenades. Once we made it to Adam Phoenix, he made us promise to live a fulfilling and peaceful life after everything was over. Not fully understanding what he meant, we all agreed, and then we learned the truth about the Locusts, E-Day, and everything in between.
Spreading all those years ago. It drove the Locusts out of their warrens. I tried to persuade Mira to keep her people underground, but they couldn't. So then...
Wait. Did I hear right? The government knew E-Day was coming, and none of you bothered to warn us?
The reason the Locusts were above ground in the first place was because of the emulsion sickness, but Adam Phoenix knew all along but wasn't able to help. With a new objective, we had to deploy the bioweapon, save the world, and go home. So, pretty simple stuff. But once we arrived at the top of the tower, we found out that it was not so simple stuff.
This is gonna be terrible.
The first objective was really just to secure the rooftop, which wasn't too bad. And once we did that, an unexpected individual joins the fight.
This is just our life now.
Stop it. Yes, it's mine! Let's go, baby! With Carmine in the sky, we felt incredibly safe as we deployed the bioweapon. Then,
yes, Carmine,
this...
Go! No!
We're on fire! No! Carmine!
Carmine.
Another Carmine brother gone on our watch, but we had no time to mourn. We needed to take this flying dung beetle down for good. Everything we had gone through had prepared us for this moment. The Thrash Ball touchdowns that should have killed us, the Lambent Berserkers we fought at Anvil Gate, and of course the arguably unnecessary loss of our brother Dom. We learned very quickly to stay behind these pillars when the fire-breathing beetle attacked. Then we shot it in the face as much as possible. Surprisingly, the first part of this wasn't too bad, but it was only the beginning. The beetle was hurt but not finished yet. We would need to use our favorite weapon to take it down, the Hammer of Dawn. Lighting this beetle up like a family Christmas tree only hurt it temporarily, but after our first checkpoint, she showed up with more enemies to humble us.
It's making me mad. How many of them are there? What is even that, dude?
We had a lot of trouble here because the enemies were literally everywhere. If it wasn't the flying turret shooting you in the back,
We're dead.
it was Queen Mira lighting you on fire
Shoot
somehow.
us right here. Oh, I'm freaking livid.
But once our plan finally worked, we got the queen off the tower and back to work with the flames of fire. Just when we thought she'd had enough, she came back for one more final round, trying to stop Adam from finishing the job. On this final wave, we gave all the firepower we could, and after this almost hour-long boss fight, she had finally had enough.
Come on, baby. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's go, baby. Come on, baby.
The Lambent enemies began spawning all around us, but it was too late. With each pulse, they were being destroyed, but unfortunately, so was Adam Phoenix.
I'm glad I was able to see you again, Marcus.
No! No, no!
And live for me.
Adam. By injecting himself with the emulsion sickness, Adam Phoenix found a way to stop it all, but it would destroy him in the process. Heartbroken and angry, Marcus sees the queen is still alive, but we had something for her as well.
Feel that? That's from Dom.
Yeah!
Everyone else you killed, you.
We had lost so many people in this game, even Carmine was gone.
Carmine! He's alive! Yes! Carmine! Carmine! Carmine!
Man, that feels good. This game was probably the hardest one in the entire series for me, physically and emotionally. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next gaming adventure.